Well, hello, everybody. Today we have with us Josh Crabtree, who is the Executive Director of Legal Aid of the Bluegrass. Josh, thanks for being with us today.
Judge, happy to be here and talk about Legal Aid of the Bluegrass.
Fantastic. Well, let's start off by informing the community about what is Legal Aid of the Bluegrass. What do you do and how are you structured?
Yeah, civil legal aid is unlike criminal cases. You have a right to an attorney. That kind of stuff doesn't apply in civil cases. So we can take your home, we can take your family, and we can take your job, and you're not entitled to an attorney. And that's where civil legal aid steps in. So Legal Aid of the Bluegrass has been around over 50 years. Started off as Northern Kentucky Legal Aid Society, but we have grown over time. We actually cover 33 counties. Our headquarters is in Covington, but we have offices in Lexington, Frankfort, Ashland, and Moorhead. Go all the way down to Danville, and then up to the northeast in the state. So 33 counties where we have provide legal representation.
And is that representation provided for free or based upon your ability to pay? Or
Sure. So all of our services are free. Most of our services, you have to meet some financial eligibility guidelines, which would be based at 100% of the poverty rate or below, except in a couple categories. So elder law, there's no income restrictions on what we do with representing the elderly. It's all kind of funding driven for those. So for example, we run a benefits enrollment center for the National Council on Aging. If a senior calls us, it doesn't matter what topic they're calling about, we screen them for 38 different benefits. Gotcha. So it might be their homestead exemption that they're not claiming, or it could be us saving them some money on their prescription drug plans. We're going to screen those, and those are not income-driven issues. Veterans and domestic violence cases also are not income-driven for those. So,
what is poverty level right now in Northern Kentucky?
Kenton County's poverty rate's about 12-ish%. Statewide at 16.9.
And what's the income level?
So that's about $11,000 for an individual.
Okay.
So a family of four, it's in the 40,000 range.
Gotcha. And then what is considered to be a senior to obtain services from you?
65 and older.
Very good. So let's talk about COVID. Your world has changed just like everybody else. What's the typical caseload for Kenton County? Maybe share with us some of the impacts of COVID in that area as well.
Yeah, so in Kenton County, we handled last year, we closed around 5,800 cases is what we would have closed as an organization. That's not people that we don't have like actual litigation on, but those are that's litigation kind of cases. We did about 1,100 of those in Kenton County. And primarily housing, family, and domestic violence are the three major categories that we do work in Kenton County on. Those have not changed all that much. Health is the other big category. While those are still remain the big categories that we're working in, housing has jumped up tremendously for us. And that's with so many people facing income insecurity and income instability right now. That's kind of the area that we've been preparing for, and starting probably. Well, the Supreme Court moratorium on evictions was kind of ended on August 1st, and Monday we got hit hard. That was almost all the intake calls were eviction kind of related. So those numbers are up.
And then I guess you make sure that people understand their legal rights and are able to go, obviously follow the law. Sometimes that doesn't necessarily make the individual happy, right? They would love this issue of eviction, et cetera, that the property owner has a right to be paid, should be paid. But then do you then connect them to other services, or how does that work in terms of reaching the limit of their ability to stay in a home, et cetera?
That's absolutely probably the biggest change for COVID that we are experiencing as an organization is there are thousands of people in Kentucky and in our service area in Kenton County that have never applied for benefits before, who have never had to deal with unemployment, who have never had to deal with any of these things. And that's what legal aid's created for. So we connect people. We believe in 100% access. Whatever you call us about, we're going to give you some service, even if you don't qualify for ours. We're going to connect you with the place that you need to go. That can help you with that. So every caller is going to get something. We operate a live intake. So it's pointing people to the right resources. And we learned from the great, recession kind of thing. Banks and legally our friends. We realize properties sitting empty don't benefit anybody. They don't want to own houses. The county doesn't want empty properties. Everybody. So we work on trying to preserve people's homes, keeping them in there, getting people paid. It was whether it was working on loan modifications to help people out, or a forbearance period, or trying to negotiate something. We have housing counselors that do that. So we learned that from that last time, really learned hard that everybody benefits when we can
Sure.
do that.
Well, let's go back to the organization itself. So how many people are on your staff, and how are you funded?
Yeah, so give or take the time of year, because we have more in the summer, we'll have about 75 people on staff, close to 30 of those attorneys, the other law clerks, and a small percentage of law clerks, and the rest of the support staff. Primarily funded by the Legal Service Corporation out of Washington, D.C. That board's appointed by the president, and they oversee 130 legal aid programs in the country.
I see.
So that's probably about 25% of our funding. The rest of it would be federal, state grants, United Way organizations, local donations, ad district money, and all those different sources. The county included, so yeah.
So, and the idea there being connecting to services, making sure people have representation to understand their ability to both follow the law and also get access to services that they otherwise might not do it. Who would you consider one of your biggest your partners in the community right now?
Our partnerships run. We're very well connected because we're like the law firm for a lot of nonprofits. That's how it works out. But the Women's Crisis Center, for example, they provide advocacy and support for those families, but they don't do the legal part.
Mm-hmm.
We go to court with it and help those families to get the safety orders that they need to be able to stay safe and do what they need to do. Life Learning Center and Legally at Bluegrass, great partnership. They have somebody down there that says, look, I need an expungement. I need to have, can you help me out with this? I qualify because it's impeding my ability to get a job.
Sure.
The Chamber of Commerce, we partnered with them to have some expungement clinics with different partners that they have, and members of the chamber who, I think Amazon, Goodwill, and the library and legal aid operated an expungement clinic not long ago. We had to switch that to a virtual clinic, but so we are really, we know that rising tide lifts all ships, kind of thing. So people working, people that are in homes, people that are safe are going to contribute to society, and that's what we're there to help them do.
Absolutely. Well, if there was one main thing you wish that all of Northern Kentucky would be more aware of legal aid, what would it be?
That, access to justice shouldn't be really driven by how much money you have.
Mm-hmm.
That everybody having, a fair shot to have some legal representation is really going to benefit the entire community and make it a better place to work and live. And that's what we do.
Fantastic. Well, Josh, thanks for the great synopsis of what's going on. Wish you the best of luck and for you and all your clients.
Well, we appreciate it. And I would just drive to say, come to our website at lablaw.org or our main intake line, 859-431-8200, if anybody needs help.
Great. Thanks, Josh. It'd be good.